Hi everybody, this is Lisa, and it's time again for another Verbling class. In this class, we're going to be doing some reading, and I just want to let you know if you have a reservation already, go ahead and click on the blue button, the Get Reservation button, and you can come in right now to the Google Hangouts and join me. Hi there. Aisha?
Yeah, what is it?
Hi there, how are you?
Good.
Okay, so underneath when I put my cursor over your picture, it says Aishu, but then over on the Verbling chat, it's Aisha. So which is it?
Aisha.
Aisha, okay. Okay, awesome. All right, so everybody, like I said, in this hour, we're going to be doing some reading. I got this article from yesmagazine.com. Yes is a magazine also, a paper magazine that comes out, I think, I don't know, once a month or every couple months, something like that. And it usually has nice articles about topics about the planet, the economy, social life, people around the world, and usually likes to have articles that are positive, that are trying to talk about what people are doing that is helping other people or helping animals or helping the planet or something like that. So I usually like to find some articles there so that we can read and see what kind of good things are happening in the world. Of course, we have enough bad things happening, so it's good to talk about some of the good things that are happening for people and for the planet. So this one in particular is going to be about solar power. So I see that some people are opening it, the link. I will give the link again. The Verbling chat box scrolls by pretty quickly when people start typing in it. Hi there, everybody in the Verbling chat. Hi there.
Hi.
Zhao,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And Vincenzo, how are you doing? Vincenzo from Italy. Hi there. I think you're muted, so you can unmute your microphone. And yeah, if you have a reservation, you can go ahead and get it now. It's the blue button. And if you don't have a reservation, then I think the green button should be available just pretty soon here. And you can click on the green Join Class button. And as soon as we get everybody in here, then what I like to do is just say hi. Say hi to everybody who shows up to class. I want to make sure that your microphone is working because you will need it to read out loud and answer questions and things. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we are full. So I'm going to say hi to everybody, and I want you to just say hi back and make sure that your microphone is working. If your microphone is not working, then you won't be able to be in the class because part of the class is reading out loud. Okay, so, all right, Adela, how are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well. Where's that picture?
This is a glacier.
Mm-hmm. Where
in Patagonia.
Oh, in Patagonia. Okay, awesome. Nice. Was that picture taken recently?
3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago. Okay. Nice. Pretty.
Okay.
Aisha, how are you doing?
Good.
You're doing good? Ready to read? Okay, good. All right, and Chowky, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Just wanted to check in everybody, make sure your microphone is on. Looks like it's good. And David, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How about you?
Good. All your testing over?
Yes, I was testing.
Okay. Great. And Hamid, you're still with us.
Yes, the topic is my interest topic, and I also worked in my master term, energy storage.
Great. Okay, awesome.
And can I ask another chemical joke?
Sure. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I put the verb in chat.
Okay, put it in the chat. Yeah. Okay, and Zhao, you're with us. Hi there.
Hi, teacher again.
Yeah, just checking on the mics. Working fine. Good. And Mohammed, how are you? Mohammed, is your microphone on?
Yes.
Okay, it's a little bit low, so you might speak more into the microphone so I can hear you a little better. And yeah, it's okay. Osama, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. And Vincenzo, how are you today?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I'm very pleased to meet you again.
Okay.
How are your things going?
Great. I just got back from being in the desert, in the desert in the state of Utah. I was there for a week.
Okay.
And it was fun.
It was very interesting, I think.
Yes, yeah, and I got my T-shirt. I'll show you my T-shirt. It's probably backwards, maybe, but it says Utah Rocks.
Okay. Utah Rocks.
Utah, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have a cruise in Caribbean, perhaps.
Nice.
Yeah, on a holiday, yes.
Awesome.
These holidays.
Sweet. That would be great. Okay, Hamid, you have a little joke or a riddle for us. Silver walks up to gold in a bar and says, okay.
I put the answer.
Hey, you get out of here. Is that the chemical designation? AU?
Yes, AU symbolize gold.
Gold. What? Gold.
Yeah. I'm gonna
excuse me, teacher. Perhaps you can tell me when there are hurricanes in in that place where I want to go.
I think the hurricanes are in the fall, but I don't know.
In which month? Which month? Are they dangerous?
In the Caribbean? Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Do you know which period are they?
Let me see. Well,
because I don't go in that period.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you can. I don't know, but you can look it up. If you just look up hurricane.
Hello.
I can find it in the internet.
Yeah, just look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go on.
Juan, how are you doing? I just wanted to make sure your microphone is working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Great.
Okay. So,
Okay, does everybody have their, whoa, where am I here? Let me close that. Everybody have their document open so we can begin reading. I think it's a kind of, it's kind of long.
I've got it.
Great. It's going to take us a little while to get through it. And I think there's a lot of good vocabulary in here that we can practice and talk about. Make sure you guys understand it. The way that I do the reading class is I highlight. So this is what I'm doing right now, highlighting. I read. When I am reading, you listen, and you listen to how I am pronouncing the words. And then I will have each student take turns, and you will read the paragraph, and then we'll just go down the way like that. If you have any questions, you don't understand a word, you want me to repeat something so you can practice pronouncing it yourself, then just let me know, and I'll be happy to repeat again what I just said or explain one of the words if you don't know what it means. Okay, I think we lost somebody, but we had Iyad come in. Iyad, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Iyad?
Yes,
Nah.
yes, okay.
Okay, good. You're there. All right, so Hamid, he put up the link again. And let's just make sure everybody has their Verbling window closed. All you need to open is your Google Hangouts window and the document window. And the Verbling window you can close because if you leave it open, then we start hearing the recording coming. So, and for everybody who is out there watching, this is a good class for you because you can open up the document as well and you can read along with us. And if you want to ask a question in the Verbling chat, then I will try to keep an eye on it. I will try to look at it and answer any questions you have. And also, other people can answer if they know the answer already. Okay, here we go. The title of this article is Building a Solar Economy. 4 lessons from Hawaii. Hawaii generates more of its power from the sun than any other state. Here's what the rest of us can learn from the obstacles that come up along the way and what's being done to overcome them. Okay. Adela, how about you read that?
Sorry, about this paragraph.
Yeah, you just read it
comment?
again.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sorry. I have. Okay. Um, I don't know, but how is about the state, Hawaii is the most producer of the solar power.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. But you don't have to talk about it right now yet. Did you want to comment? Because otherwise you can just read it. Adela? Yeah,
sorry.
Just read what I just read. So I'm going to read first.
Okay.
And then you read again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you got it.
Hawaii generates more of its power from the sun than any other state. Here's what the rest of us can learn from the obstacle that came up along the way and what's been done to overcome them.
Good. So this word, I just want to make sure you guys get the J. This is what we call a soft G.
Generate.
So generates. Yep, good. And so that means it produces or it makes more power from the sun. Another word here, obstacles. That one comes up quite a bit in the readings that we do. So it's just something that gets in the way of allowing something to happen. So when you come in up against obstacles, those are things that are difficult that might make it hard for you to achieve a goal or to do something you want to do. But this is what you do. You overcome them. So that means you take care of them. So maybe an obstacle for learning English is, for example, maybe not having people to speak with. That's an obstacle. And you overcome that by coming to Verbling or getting a friend to talk with on Skype or something like that. So you overcome whatever obstacles you have. So there's a picture of Hawaii. Lots of sun in Hawaii. All right.
Yes.
The solar era has begun. The industry is booming, prices are dropping, and solar energy at last seems poised to help topple the climate-altering dominance of fossil fuels. But bringing it to the masses won't be as simple as just soaking up the sun. Okay, David.
Okay, sorry. The solar era has begun, the industry is booming, prices are dropping, and solar energy at last seems poised to help topple the climate-altering dominance of fossil fuels, but bringing it to the masses won't be as simple as just soaking up the sun.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to go over a few words in that those two sentences. So the solar era, so a time period is an era. So this is the time that solar power is going to become more popular. The industry is booming. That means it's doing well. Prices are dropping. That means they're going down, being cheaper. And solar energy at last seems poised. When you are poised to do something, that means you're ready. You're in a good position to do it, and it's ready to topple. That means to make it fall down. So right now, as you know, a lot of countries, we get our energy from burning things like fossil fuels, like coal and gasoline in our cars and things like that. And these types of fossil fuels, they alter or change our climate, and they are dominating. So they're the most important ones of how we get energy right now. But now that's going to change, perhaps, because of the solar era. Okay? So, but he says bringing it to the masses. So the masses means the people, a lot of people around the world. Bringing it to the masses is not going to be so simple. That's basically what it means. It's easy to soak up the sun. Soaking up the sun, that's an expression. Like if you go to the beach and you lay out on the beach and you're just laying there, you're soaking up the sun. You're just letting the sun hit your skin and you're getting warm. To gain a better picture of the challenges to come and of some possible solutions, electric companies and solar developers throughout the nation are watching Hawaii, which derives a larger fraction of its electricity from the sun than any other state. Okay, of course we're talking about the United States. Okay, Hamid?
To gain a better picture of the challenges to come and of some possible solutions, electric companies and solar developers throughout the nation are watching Hawaii, which derives a larger fraction of its electricity from the sun than any other state.
Good. So to gain means, so you could say to get a better picture, to gain a better picture. They're talking about here the possible solutions of for that, because there's some challenges. So whenever you have a challenge, thing that makes it difficult for you, and you have to find a solution. And it's coming from the electric companies and the solar developers, the people developing or making the solar panels, for example. And in the state of Hawaii, they're doing it quite well, because they're saying that Hawaii derives, and that just means gets, so a larger fraction of its electricity from the sun. All right, homeowners and businesses have led the charge here. Something that distinguishes Hawaii from other states at the forefront of solar, like Nevada and Arizona, which depend more heavily on large-scale installations. Okay, Iyad?
Okay. Homeowners and business have led the charge here. Something that distinguishes Hawaii from other states at the forefront of solar, like Nevada and Arizona, which depend more heavily on large-scale installation.
All right, so homeowners, so people who have homes, and the businesses, and this is an expression in English, they have led the charge. The expression is to lead the charge, and that means that you do it first. So whenever you're leading the charge, it means you're the first person doing something new. So in Hawaii, the homeowners and the businesses are doing this new thing, which is using solar panels. And they're out in the forefront. That means they're the leaders they're leaving. And the reason why is because in other very sunny states like Nevada and Arizona on the west coast of the United States, they have a lot of sun, but in Nevada and Arizona, they have large-scale installations. So maybe out in the desert in Nevada and Arizona, they have lots and lots and lots and lots of panels that are just out in the middle of the desert, and they're creating energy with those solar panels. But what this is saying here is that in Hawaii, it's the homeowners and the businesses that are actually putting solar panels on the top of their roofs. So that's why it's creating all of this energy, because they're putting them on top of their houses. Okay, the reasons for Hawaii's solar boom are many. The Polynesians who inhabited the Hawaiian Islands before the arrival Don't mute the teacher or else I will kick you out. Okay. The reasons for Hawaii's solar boom are many. The Polynesians who inhabited the Hawaiian Islands before the arrival of Europeans were entirely self-sufficient. But in 2010, it was a different picture. The state generated 86.1% of its electricity from imported petroleum. Okay? So that was a while ago. Juan.
Yeah, the reason for Hawaii's solar boom are many. The Polynesians who inhabited the Hawaii Islands before the arrival of Europeans were entirely self-sufficient. But in 2010, it was a different picture. The state generated 86.1% of its electricity from imported petroleum.
Good. So basically, they're just saying that the people who used to live on the islands, so in this word in English, we don't pronounce the S, A-I, islands. They were self-sufficient. That means they were not having to import energy or get help from anywhere else. They were able to live there by themselves. And before that, before now, let's say, it was a different picture, meaning it was very different. The state generated, so it means they got their electricity from imported petroleum. So they had to pay for petroleum and have it shipped to the islands, and that costs a lot of money, and that's very not self-sufficient, let's say. And so now that's why solar has become so important. And yes, I wanted to answer Ayad in the chat. You're saying it's renewable. Yes, so solar power is renewable energy. Fossil fuel is not. Okay? The high price tag on that energy, along with a heightened awareness of the island's isolation, has led the state to set an ambitious goal to derive 40% of its power from renewable sources by 2030. It reached 13% in 2012, or 2012. You can say it either way. Okay, Zhao, do you want to go?
Yes, I'm here. Okay.
Okay, great.
And the high price tag on the energy, along with heightened awareness of the island isolation, has led the state to set an ambitious goal to derive 40% of this power from renewable sources by 2013. It reached 13. I can see. And can you move this page? Yes. Okay. It's reached 13% in 2012.
Yes. Okay. Good. So let me go over a little bit of vocabulary here. So high price tag. That's just another way of saying that it was very expensive. So it used to be very expensive to import the petroleum. And so that, of course, encourages people or motivates people to try something different. If something is too expensive, you want to try to make it cheaper. And it also brought more awareness. So a heightened means more, awareness of the island's isolation. So as you know, Hawaii has many islands, and it's right out there in the Pacific Ocean, very isolated from other countries. For example, if you take a plane from California or Washington to Hawaii, it takes about 6 hours on the plane. So that's quite a ways away. And they have an ambitious goal. So this word ambitious means something that is not easy to get, but it's something that's a big goal. So it's not a little goal, it's a big goal, something that's very important or maybe is going to be difficult to achieve. And the goal is that they want to have 40% of their power from renewable sources by 2030. So that's in less than 20 years. And they've already got 13% last year. So they're on their way to using more and more renewable energy sources. So in the chat, the difference between renewal and renewable. So basically, if something, it's an adjective. So if something is renewable, that means that you can renew it. The renewal is actually the noun, and that just means that it is something that you renew. So when the renewal of, like if you have a magazine subscription, for example, and you pay money to have it renewed, that's your renewal. So for example, your renewal rate would be the amount of money you pay to renew your subscription to your magazine, so you can keep getting the magazine. Okay? All right, does anybody have any questions yet? There's a lot going on in the VerbLink chat. I'm not sure if I'm able to look at it all. Yes, adjective and nouns different. That's the difference. Okay, we have a little graphic here. It's just showing that in 2012, Hawaii installed more PV, that stands for photovoltaic, that's the solar panels, and they installed more in the last 6 years, more in 2012 than the last 6 years combined. And you can see that this is called in English a bar graph. And so a bar graph is a pretty nice graphic, easy way to show some information like this. So you can see how much more they did last year. Vincenzo, do you have a question?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I don't know what is tag. What's the meaning of tag?
Okay, right here,
tag.
the high price tag.
Tag, yes.
Yeah.
High price tag. What's the word tag? I don't understand.
The tag, okay, I'm going to show you. So, look at me. So, when you go to the store and you're looking at something like for maybe a shirt, and you're looking for the price comes on a tag. So, it's a little piece of paper that's usually attached. Yeah, that's the tag. So, that's where you find the price. So, your price tag tells you the price. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
So that's what they're trying to say, that if something has a high price tag, that means it's expensive. That's another way to say it is expensive. Yeah. Okay, I'll keep reading here. Hawaii has roughly, sorry, I'm going to go back. Somebody wanted me to say the word inhabited again. So the way you pronounce that is inhabited, and that means where people live. If Hawaii was inhabited by Polynesians, those were the native people who lived on the Hawaii Islands before the white people came. Okay, Hawaii has roughly doubled its solar power capacity every year since 2007. And in 2012, installed more solar than in the last 6 years combined. All right. It's not hard to see what's behind the solar frenzy, with the average electric bill stacking up to roughly $230 per month. Hawaii has the highest electricity rates in the nation by far, nearly twice as high as the second most expensive state. So that's a good reason to try to do something different. All right, who's going to read now? Juan?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read.
Are you talking with me?
Sorry?
Yes, I'm asking Juan to read, so go ahead, Juan.
Okay. Hawaii has roughly doubled his solar power capacity every year since 2007, and in 2012 installed more solar than in the last 6 years combined. It's not hard to see what's behind the solar frenzy with the average electricity bill.
Yeah. Juan, did you get muted?
Yeah. Okay, stacking
Yeah.
or stacking
Stacking up, yep. Mhm.
stacking up to roughly $230 per month. Hawaii has the highest electricity rates in the nation by far, nearly twice as high as the second most expensive state.
Yes. So basically, what's happening is this word frenzy, that just means when people are doing it. So there's a solar frenzy. It means a lot of people are putting up solar panels all at once. And the reason why is because their electric bills are so expensive, $230 per month just for electricity. And that's a lot. It's the highest, actually, in the nation, in the country of the United States. And it's nearly means almost. So it's nearly, and roughly means approximately, nearly twice as high as the second most expensive state. So, of course, when something is very expensive, it motivates you to do something different so that you can change that. Solar has the potential to decrease a homeowner's electric bill to zero, except for a monthly $18 service charge. Those kinds of savings, combined with federal and local tax credits, means a Hawaiian homeowner can recoup the cost of a solar investment in just 3.1 years. Okay. Okay, Marcos, you joined us. Do you want to read?
Sure.
Okay.
Solar has the potential to decrease a homeowner's electric bill to zero, except for a monthly 18 service charge. Those kinds of savings combined with federal local tax credits means a Hawaiian homeowner can recoup the cost of a solar investment in just 3.1 years.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So they can basically, okay, Marcos, I'm going to mute you because there's a lot of background noise. So basically it has the potential. So it means that it's possible. If something has the potential, it means that it's possible that this will happen. And it has the possibility of making a homeowner's electric bill go down, decrease to zero even. That's quite a bit for $30, except for a monthly service charge of $18. So that's just a small amount of. So that's a lot of savings. You're saving a lot of money. Plus you get some tax credits. That means on your taxes you maybe get to take off some money. And then here's another word here you might want to know, recoup. So of course when you invest in the solar panels, maybe it will cost you a couple of $1,000 and it will pay for itself. So recoup means so you will save so much money over 3.1 years that will pay for your cost of buying the solar panels. So that's pretty good. It used to be a lot longer, maybe 10 or 20 years, because solar panels used to be much more expensive, but now they're becoming cheaper. Even if all the tax credits were removed, it would still take only 8.9 years for a Hawaii solar installation to pay for itself. But so much solar has also created problems. Each island's electrical grid is isolated from the others, and therefore less stable than a typical mainland grid, particularly when unpredictable solar energy enters the picture. But solutions are beginning to emerge. Okay, let's see here. Osama,
Yes,
you can read that.
but so much solar has also created problems. Each island's electrical grid is isolated from the others and therefore less stable than a typical mainland grid, particularly when unpredictable solar energy enters the picture, but,
Solutions.
but solutions are beginning to emerge.
Yes. Okay, so in the beginning, the author is talking about how wonderful solar power is, but it also has some problems, or it has created. So here's the has created problems. For example, one of the problems is the fact that every island, so each island, has its own grid. The grid is where the electricity goes into and then goes out to all the houses. So they're isolated. And it's therefore less stable. That means it's less, it's kind of more erratic. Something else can happen to it than a typical mainland. The mainland means the United States, the 48 states that are all connected to each other, so not Alaska, not Hawaii. But the mainland refers to all the other part of the country. And particularly when unpredictable, so something that you don't know ahead of time, you can't tell, like sometimes weather can be unpredictable. Sometimes they don't know how much energy they're going to get because they don't know how much sun they're going to get. So those are some of the problems, but solutions, so things to fix these problems, are beginning to emerge. They're starting to come to light. Emerge means they're finding out the solutions. They're coming to light is another way. Appear, yes. Emerge means to appear or to come out or to come to light, for example. They're finding them out. They're figuring out the solutions. Better energy storage systems and weather prediction technology are being developed to stabilize those grids. Meanwhile, the Hawaii legislature is poised to reduce solar tax credits, which some say are too expensive. In short, Hawaii is solving problems today that other states may encounter tomorrow. Okay, Vincenzo.
From better energy, okay.
Yes.
Better energy storage systems and weather prediction technology are being developed to stabilize those grids. Meanwhile, the Hawaii legislature is supposed to reduce solar tax credits, which some say are too expensive. In short, Hawaii is solving problems today that other states may
encounter.
May encounter tomorrow.
Exactly. Okay, great. So
excuse me, teacher. Can I say something? So these islands are not interconnected about the solar energy. So each one has its own energy, but they are not all interconnected.
Exactly. Yes. So
okay.
if you look here on my screen, if you click on my screen, I pulled up a little map. It's kind of small, but it shows these are the Hawaiian Islands. They're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and I don't know if this one's better. Okay. And so so you have every island has its own grid. So that means that they are not connected. Yes. Okay. So that means.
What do you mean? What do you mean with grid? Grid. What is it? Grid?
Energy system works.
What is a grid?
Okay, I'll show you. So here's a picture of the United States. Do you see that? In my screen, that's a picture of the United States. If you click on my little box there, then my screen will show. And the grid is all of the net. It's like a network of the electricity. So
it's a scheme. It's a scheme.
yes, yeah,
Scheme. It's a scheme. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Understand. Understand.
Okay, and that's how it works. So, for example, if I have solar panels on my roof, and I'm
Yes.
connected to the grid, so when my solar panels are producing energy because the sun is
Yes.
out, for example, then my energy goes into the grid, and then that provides energy for all the customers who need electricity.
Other customers. Yes.
Yeah.
So your energy can be used for other customers. Okay,
Exactly.
I understand.
Yes. And that's why they're saying that your electric bill can go to zero. And I have also heard that some people can actually make money. So,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not just electric companies. Mm-hmm.
So you can also get money from your energy when you don't use it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's right. Okay, great. So let me see. So they need storage systems. So there's sometimes you can store electricity or energy in batteries, for example, if you have batteries. So they need better storage systems. So if the sun isn't shining, they can still have energy available that they put away for later, they stored. That will help stabilize it, make it more predictable. And also, they're saying that one of the problems, though, is that the Hawaiian legislature, so that is the people who make the laws, the government in Hawaii, they might reduce these tax credits because they're kind of expensive. So a tax credit is, for example, if you owe, let's say you owe then you only tax credit helps you lower your tax bill. And so basically what she's saying in short, so that means like basically Hawaii is solving, that means they're taking care of these problems today that other states in the United States may encounter tomorrow. So when other states start using more solar panels, they also are going to have to deal with these issues. And so other states are probably going to learn from Hawaii, for example. Hawaii's high rate of solar adoption makes it a likely picture of California's future, according to Elaine Sison-Labrilla, Renewable Energy Program Manager at the Sacramento Municipal Utility District. That's a long word. The district is collaborating with the Hawaiian Electric Company to develop solutions to many of the obstacles it's encountered. All right, so there's a lot of words in there. All right, who's next? Adela, are you still with us? Yeah, Adela, okay.
Yes, Hawaii's high rate of solar adoption makes it a likely picture of California's future, according to Elaine Sison-Labrilla, Renewable Energy Program Manager at the Sacramento Municipal Utility District. The district is collaborating with the Hawaiian Electric Company to develop solutions to many of the obstacles it's encountered.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the rate, right here where it says the rate of solar adoption, so that just means fast people are putting up solar panels. That means adoption. When you adopt a new strategy or a new technique, that means you start doing it. So they're adopting or starting to use solar panels very quickly. And basically the district is collaborating. That means they're working. When you collaborate with somebody, you work together with them. They're working together with the Hawaiian Electric Company to develop or to create, to find solutions to these obstacles. Remember, obstacles are the problems that they are encountering, or to encounter means to run into or to find. So yeah, they're working on that. They'll see these problems much sooner than us, Sison-Labrilla said, and the hope is that there will be lessons learned from them and we'll be prepared. All right, I'm going to keep reading here. Obstacle 1, more power than the grid can handle. What about cloudy days? That's the perennial question for an industry striving to improve the efficiency of solar technology. but it's too much power, not too little. That's the problem in Hawaii. So that's the first problem. All right, let's see. David, go ahead and read all that.
And they'll see this problem much sooner than us, Season Levila said. And the hope is that there will be lessons learned from them and we'll be prepared. Obstacle 1. More power than the green can handle. What about cloudy days? That's a perennial question for an industry striving to improve the efficiency of solar technology, but it's too much power, not too little. That's the problem in Hawaii.
Yeah. So they have their first obstacle, or their first problem, is basically that there's too much power being generated. Perennial means that's like a question that gets asked all the time. And striving to improve. When you strive to do something, it means trying. You're working on something. So they're striving to improve the efficiency. That means how well it works. If something is very efficient, then it works very well. And so they're trying to improve the efficiency of the solar technology. But the problem is actually not too little, it's too much. It's because Hawaii has so much sun that the solar panels are creating a lot of energy. All right, the system.
So Hawaii is a sunny place.
Yes.
Hawaii is a sunny place.
Very sunny, yes. Okay. Yes. The system was not designed originally to have energy flowing two ways, explained Peter Rossegg, spokesman for the Hawaiian Electric Company, or HECO, which provides electricity to 95% of the Hawaiian population. Now, all of a sudden, you have rooftop solar, and most of them are sending power back over these lines during much of the day because they're producing more than they can use. All right. So I'm going to have you guys read this, both of those right there. So hold on.
So we have to change place in order to have electricity.
Yeah. Errol.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I read.
Yes.
The system was not designed originally to have energy flowing two ways, explained Peter Rasek, spokesman for the Hawaiian Electric Company, or HECO. It provides electricity to 95% of the Hawaiian population. Now, all of a sudden you have rooftop solar, and most of them are sending power back over these lines during much of the day because they are producing more than they can use.
Right. So basically, the system was not designed originally. Originally means beginning. They didn't design the system that they could have it going back and forth between the houses and the grid. So what's happening now is, for example, you have all of these solar panels on the rooftops of the houses or the businesses, and the solar panels create energy that the house is using, but it's actually creating even more. So it's sending it to the grid. So that's something that they didn't realize was going to happen. Traditionally, a human operator at a centralized system operations center tracks power generation to ensure that it stays exactly equal to demand. But solar power generated by individual homes or businesses is invisible to these operators. This increases the risk of a sudden spike or drop-off in power, which can damage generation or transmission equipment, even home appliances, and cause outages and instability across the grid. Okay. All right, go ahead, Hamid.
Traditionally, a human operator at a centralized system operations operations center tracks power generation to ensure that it stays exactly equal to demand. But solar power generated by individual homes or businesses is invisible to these operators. This increases the risk of a sudden spike or drop-off in power, which can damage generation or transmission equipment, even home appliances, and cause outages and instability across the grid.
Yeah. So usually there's a guy watching to make sure that however much people need and how much is available is equal. All right. The generation, how much is created, and how much is being used, the demand. But what's happening with all this solar power is sometimes it can have a spike. That means it goes up really high, or it can drop off. Yeah, and that's dangerous because that can kind of blow out stuff, or it can cause outages. It goes out.
So you can't have a stable line of electricity, a percentage of electricity. Can be higher or can be lower.
Yeah, because usually there's a person watching that, but that person can't watch it if it's coming from the individual houses, the different houses.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop reading and just have you guys read because we have a lot of ways to go. So, Zhao, go ahead and read solution grid upgrades.
Upgrade. I can say, can you move in your page, please?
Well, I want you to read right there. Solution, grid upgrades, meters, and batteries.
Solution, batteries. I can say that. Sorry.
You can't see it?
Okay, I can see now.
Yeah.
Yes, I can now. Solution. Okay. Solution, grids, upgrades, meters, and batteries. Ultimately, infrastructure upgrades, probably massive ones, will be essential. ATICO and civil solar industry and advocacy groups have developed a plan for rolling out these upgrades, which they present to highway public utilities. Utilities.
Yes.
I can't see anything more. Utilities, and then
commission for review in January.
I can see that. I can see.
Huh? I don't know why. I can see it on mine.
Oh my God! I don't know why. So, commission for review in January.
Yeah.
I can see now.
Sometimes it takes a little while to get clear, I think, when I move it. So that's why probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, ultimately, that's how you say that word, ultimately. So that means in the end, they're going to have to upgrade, which means make better. When you upgrade something, it means you make it better. They're going to have to upgrade the infrastructure, which is like all of the stuff that you need, the lines, the batteries, the meters, all those different equipment that you need. And so that's basically what that says. They just have to work with upgrading, making the system better. All right, so let's see, who's next? Juan?
Yeah.
They recommend
what they call a proactive approach and advise utilities to prioritize right
upgrades
in areas where they anticipate seeing the most demand for solar.
Go ahead, keep going.
The technologies that will be used to redefine the grid are under development. Among these are smart grid, the way solar power generation visible to system operators. I can see that. The Maui Smart Grid project will be collecting data from smart meters testing throughout 2013.
Yeah. So they're going to just install these meters so that people can see how much power is actually being generated, and this will help them control how much power is going into the grid and how much is being used. Okay, next paragraph here. Marcos?
Short-term battery storage systems are further along, with experiments using 1 megawatt batteries now underway on 3 islands. Such batteries could store excess power to smooth out power spikes and lows.
Yep.
What is these rules?
Yeah. So what they're saying is they're going to have batteries that store the power so that it'll make it more even. So if we have a spike, it'll be able to, all that extra energy will go into the batteries. And if there's a
And
lull when
Lord, what is it?
less power, it's when there's less
Power.
Yeah. So then,
Okay.
yeah. So if there's less power, there's a lull. Then the power will come from the batteries where it was being stored.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep moving along here. Okay, Osama. Osama? I can't hear you.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I hear you.
Yeah.
These batteries are expensive, but if they are proven to work, research says it is reasonable to expect demand to go up and prices to go down, and lower prices for a proven technology could pave the way for other grids around the country.
Exactly. Okay, so even though the batteries cost a lot of money, they're very expensive, this could be one way that it will help even out so that the prices can go down even more. Hawaii, all right, Vincenzo, why don't you read that? Hawaii is an ideal place.
I'm looking for. Wait a moment. Hawaii is an ideal place to test these technologies on the mainland, where power companies can draw electricity from surrounding areas. If they run into problems, each island has its own grid that is connected. How is it? Yeah, connected to the others.
Yeah. So ideal means like a good place and to test this stuff. Unlike, so basically it's easy to do it on the mainland because everything's interconnected. So it's harder to figure out what to do there. I'm going to read this part here. That's why Hawaii is in such a precarious, that means like a kind of a interesting situation in the first place, kind of a dangerous position because they're so isolated, each island. But it also makes the success or failure of any technology that's being tested immediately visible. So while it's kind of a problem that they're so isolated, it also is a good thing because now you'll know, like, does this work? Yes. Does it work? No. So you'll know right away if it's going to work or not. I'm going to keep reading here. Obstacle 2, the unpredictable politics of solar tax credits. Hawaii is doling out, that means giving out more, doling out, when you dole out, it means you give out money. They're doling out more solar tax credit dollars than ever, and now state legislators are seeking, so they're looking for, to reduce that spending. They want to stop spending so much money on that. But some argue that the expenses have been overestimated while the benefits have been overlooked. So some people are expensive, but it's really good still. It's a benefit. It's a good thing. In September 2012, the state's Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism projected that Hawaii would spend more than $173 million on tax credits for solar by year's end, 5 times as much as in 2010. But one solar industry leader, Mark Duda, contends that those projections were overestimated, so they were too large, by more than $56 million, according to actual year-end figures. Actual means like numbers. Duda is principal and founder of Oahu's top solar company, Revolusun, and president of the Hawaii PV Coalition. It's a staggering difference. That means it's a huge difference and an important one, considering how closely the state legislature is watching these numbers. In the next month, the legislature is expected to vote on a measure that could gradually decrease the state's 35% capped tax credit, which solar adopters receive in addition to a 30% federal tax credit. How the tax credit should be handled is just one piece in a puzzle of controversies. Controversies are where people don't agree on things. Also on the table, that means also when something is on the table, it means what they're looking for, what they're dealing with. Also on the table is a Department of Taxation administrative rule effective January 1st, which aimed to cut down on the widespread practice of claiming multiple tax credits for a single project. All right, nonprofit law organization Earth Justice is now representing the Sierra Club in a lawsuit over pointing to the past releases from the department that defend the practice it's now trying to eradicate. Eradicate means to get rid of. Such policy changes create uncertainty that makes the solar industry hard, said Isaac Morawake, an Earth Justice attorney. That's the exact wrong message you want to send the market. We support renewable energy? No, just kidding. So basically this whole part is just saying that they're trying to decide how much money people can save if they invest in the tax credits or in the solar panels. Breno, the opposite of overestimated is underestimate. Yes, thank you, Marcos. Underestimate. So the solution, obviously, is a more stable tax policy. So they just need to get themselves together and figure out what type of credit. Okay, I'm not going to read that. The other one is, because we're running out of time, the other obstacle, let's see, aside from the environmental benefits of clean energy, increased economic independence means that Hawaii's energy prices won't spike when oil prices do, which is what happened after the Japanese tsunami in 2011. All right, let me go to what was the last one? Okay, the obstacle 3 is the 15% rule. Power companies have long been concerned about too much solar energy overloading the grid. Too much can pose a danger by suddenly powering lines, which during a power outage, utility employees don't expect to be electrified. So that's a danger. So for several years, Hawaii adhered to, that means they kept to the 15% rule, which prohibits the owners of solar installations from producing more than 15% of the maximum energy demand in a given day. All right, so I tried to finish, but there's a little bit more. The solution to that is to lift excessively cautious limits. So basically let people produce more energy. And then there's a final obstacle is the unpredictability of the sun's power. And the solution is better solar prediction. So if you are interested in this topic, then of course you can keep reading. The article is pretty long. But there's lots of really good vocabulary in there if you are interested in this scientific topic and renewable power and solar energy and all of that. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I have my neighbor just got some solar panels. So I'm going to show you what that looks like if I can out the window here. Maybe you guys can see. Let's see, maybe. You see those solar panels? Those
yes, I can see.
Yeah. So more people, even in Washington, which is not a very sunny state, are getting solar panels on their roofs because they can create energy not just for themselves, but also for the power grid. So more and more people are getting interested in doing that. So I'm sorry that we ran out of time because we could have talked about it a little bit more because it would be interesting to hear about your countries and whether or not solar power is something that is getting to be popular or not. I know that, for example, in Turkey, you probably get a lot of sun, Hamit.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, and in many countries get quite a bit of sun. So, yes. Yes, I have solar panels, but they're not for electricity. They're solar panels for hot water because that was something that a lot of many years ago, that was the first thing that people used solar panels for, was to just for the hot water in their house. But now it's actually tied to the grid, so it's a little different.
Germany is a very well-known country for solar energy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Germany. We read another article last week or something, 2 weeks ago, about Germany. they also produce a lot of energy, even though it's not so sunny there all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay, guys. Thanks for coming to class. I'm sorry we didn't have time to read it. It was pretty long, I guess. But if you're interested, you can always read more of it. And if you have any questions, you can post on my Facebook page and let me know.
Okay. See you, Lisa.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Marcos, Adela.
Bye bye.
Sama-sama.